Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's a Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. We're talking about cooperation. And what's funny, when you start looking at these different traits, whether you're looking at strength or perseverance or love or whatever, it all sort of it intertwines at some point. And it's like the human body. If you're missing any piece of it, you can't function as fully as a human being. For example, you could have this little muscle in your wrist that hurts, and it renders your hand useless. And so eventually your body atrophies, because if you aren't able to move your hand, then suddenly you're not using the muscles in your wrist, you're not using the muscles in your forearm, and so on and so forth. Any place along the line where that cooperation no longer occurs between the muscles and the tendons and all the other things that are part of the body, and the body is rendered useless. And that's what we've watched in Washington. We've watched a lot of the self-interest that has developed over decades. It's unbelievable, to be honest with you. We lost sight of the idea of helping everybody. And it's an interesting thing, an interesting concept when you think about it, that you go somewhere with the idea that I'm an individual, a little guy, and I'm going up there to help everybody. And suddenly you become very self-centered and say, oh, what's in it for me? Yeah. Where's my money, Mr. Lobbyist? And so we've allowed this culture to develop. It's a cancer. It's been a cancer that's been developing for years, and we know it happens. It's the same cancer in Hollywood that says, hey, I know I have to sleep my way into movies. You know what I'm saying? That every industry develops it when they develop the cancer, and nobody wants to stop the cancer. And in D.C., if you think Hollywood's bad, if you think Weinstein is bad, I promise you, D.C. is 10 times worse. 10 times worse. You think people want to sleep their way to get a movie deal or whatever. Let me tell you, these politicians, they know the game. You think Denzel Washington is a big deal. You think Angelina Jolie or Brad Pitt is a big deal. Trust me when I tell you, the people that are running D.C., and many of them, these minions behind the scenes, are worth much more. They determine the lives of the Angelina Jolies and the Brad Pitts. Sure, they can have all the glitz and glamour, but these are the people under the surface that are actually more powerful. And that's what we've allowed to occur. We've allowed for people to ruin the body politic, and we know it happens. We know what goes on in D.C. Think about how great it must be when you're a crook and you go, yeah, you know I'm a crook, but what are you going to do about it? That's mafioso, baby. That is big ballin'. That's Al Capone. When Al Capone went into a restaurant, people respected him. Why? Because he's a chubby Italian dude? No, they respected him because he's saying, I'm a criminal. I kill people for a living. I steal money. I bootleg. I do whatever I want. You know it, and you still respect me. Think about how cool that is. That's an elixir. For the wrong people, it's an elixir. I don't see it that way. I wouldn't want to be, oh man, there's that dude that's like, ooh, he'll kill you, he'll shoot you in the head, whatever. I wouldn't want to be that guy. Totally feared. I'm not going to say who wants to be that, because that's for you to determine. But I don't think most people want that to be. You want to be respected. Like, wow, that's that guy that I watched, feed all those kids. We have one of the guys that works on my radio show, Keith. He went out just recently. They had a water break or something in the Massachusetts area. And Keith spent hours helping these folks, sacrificing away from family, from this show too, Keith. But no, he sacrificed away from his family, his friends and everything in order to help other people. That's what you want to be noted for. And they did a write-up for him. And I'm very proud of him for that. And that team too, by the way, which is a few other folks. So, that's what you want to be noted for. But no, D.C., these are the people that are criminals beyond belief. We know they're criminals. We know they insider trade. We know they are selfish in their legislation. They don't care if your elbow works. As long as the fingers move. They're like, I don't care if the elbow doesn't work. My fingers are moving, baby. I can still grip. I can still pick people's wallets. You know what I'm saying? And we've allowed this to happen. But I want to go back to what I defined with leadership when we did a show on leadership. Leadership, when I learned it in military school, is the ability to gain willful cooperation. Cooperation. Eventually, you have to cooperate. If you're going to be a cohesive team, whether you're military, whether you're a sports team, in life, a business, it requires a level of cooperation. I did not say capitulation. I did not say you have to have consensus, because consensus is the aberration of leadership. I don't need consensus to run my organization. What I need are your inputs, and then I'm going to make a decision. And that's what Donald Trump was able to do. Bring people together and say, we're going to look at this DACA situation. I'm going to throw you leftists a bone, and we're going to investigate this. And you're going to come up with something. But what you come up with, you're going to think you did it. I'm only going to sign off on it if I don't have to capitulate on the things that I know are important to whom? The body politic, not to your individual self-interest. See, that's the beauty of when you look at when some Democrat brings something up, you have to look for the fine print. You go, okay, hold on a minute. It looks good on paper, but let me look and see what the fine print is. You know, these guys bringing pork back to their districts because, hey, if I can bring a fat contract back, whether the contract's a good product or not, whether it suits the need of my citizens, who cares? It reminds me of when these guys turned down Amazon in some little Midwestern town. And they said, no, because it'll ruin the culture of our town. We're not going to sell out for money. And Amazon's like, what? Really? No. Go take it somewhere else. Yeah, we'd get a boom. We'd have a financial boom, but we would not be who we are. We don't want to be you, West Coast, Jeff Bezos, anti-Trump, anti-American Amazon. No, we don't need it. Now that takes character. Whole other show. There's a saying, painful emotions show you what prevents you from creating harmony, cooperation, sharing, and a reverence for life. That's what the Democrats experience. That's what the left experiences, pain. Everything that these people do is built on pain. They don't want to cooperate with us because it's built on pain. They've been molested, so they become gay, and then they're mad because you're not. Why? Because you weren't molested. And even if you were, you got over it. But they didn't. They harbored these dark emotions. And all that pain comes up in, you don't like what I like. You don't like me because of this. And it's self-inflicted. It's pain that they feel, and they don't know how to resolve it because they're like children. It's all about tantrums. It's not about learning. We'll be back, folks.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful four-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.